Howdy friendos, my name is Stuart and welcome to the next Zelda month video. Be sure to check out our other previous Zelda videos. I mentioned in another video that I don't know the exact release date. I'm recording all of these Zelda videos way in advance, but we currently have at least recorded and probably edited by this point Link the Hero of Time, Princess Tetra, we probably have Midna done, and we probably have Skull Kid done. So be sure to check out all those videos after we're done. Do all those call to action things that YouTubers like you to do. And no, I know it's cringe to ask, but please like and subscribe. I hate call to actions, I'm sorry. But we're gonna go ahead and cover a character that I initially wrote off last year before I discovered his actual depth, and that is the Gerudo Warlock, Legend of the Wielder of the Triforce of Power, Ganondorf of the adult timeline. Now, The Legend of Zelda has always had Ganon floating around in their games, and while many fans' first Zelda game was Ocarina of Time and they saw Ganondorf first, we actually didn't even see him, you know, as a general fandom until like 4 or 5 games in. Some of you may be wondering why we're focusing on the adult timeline version, and that's because if we cover every Ganon and Ganondorf, it's just too much. Maybe we'll cover other Ganons in other videos. In fact, there is one fan interpretation Ganon that I really want to do, and that's the one from the Tale of Two Rulers comic. If there's a good comic dub out there that I can use, I really want to cover it. It's a genuinely great webcomic. Also, I do think the Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker Ganondorf makes the most complicated and tragic of the official Ganons, I should remind people, but I'll show you what I mean. Our main villain Ganondorf was born as the only male in an all-female Gerudo tribe. Being the only band born every 100 years, Ganondorf was crowned king of his tribe via traditional customs. Learning dark magic from his surrogate mothers Komoe and Kotake, Ganondorf experienced many hardships from the brutal desert of his home. Death and theft was common in the desert, yet as he grew older, he learned of the land of Hyrule and the legendary Triforce. When Hyrule unified its land in a great civil war, Ganondorf was one of the many to kneel to Hyrule. While already coveting this land and the Triforce for his own, he is often a calm, calculating manipulator whose patience is both a strength and a weakness. Dude can play the long game and will send others to do his work so that he can focus on important tasks. While we're pulling information from the Do games and Hyrule Historia, it's hard to say if Ganondorf was bad or an evil ruler up until this point. We know he has dark and evil ambitions, but until he gets the Triforce of Power, he wasn't actually known as the King of Evil, he was known as the King of Thieves. So we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt and also change things up for what's ahead and put Ganondorf's starting alignment at lawful neutral because he is a king in the desert. I think that's pretty fair. Also, I know several of you in the comments want to tell me about Demise and the Curse, but we won't be doing anything special with any evil Lang Ding since Ganondorf isn't Demise directly. Ganondorf just kind of has his power. Ganondorf does have his own wants and agencies, and Demise may have put him on the path, but Ganondorf does choose what he wants to do. And with that out of the way, let's go. However, before we go, did you know that you can watch the next 3 alignment videos ahead of schedule by becoming a channel member, a patron, or a Twitch subscriber? Whichever one is most convenient for you, you can just go ahead and do that. Becoming any of these premium members gives you access to the next 3 alignment videos on your select platform and gives you a spot at the end credits of our alignment videos and gaming videos. Each membership also gives you access to another unique set of benefits. YouTube Premium gives you access to stickers and emojis not available anywhere else, and sometimes a 4th bonus alignment video. Patreon gives you access to monthly wallpapers, lore packets, and access to the uncut archive of our D&D campaigns. And Twitch gives you access to a different set of emote stickers and access to our entire streaming library. If you're especially ambitious and want to collect all 3 Infinity Stones of the Loading Crew, this gives you access to a special title in our Discord. It's mostly bragging rights, but hey, you're better than everyone else. Check any of the links in the description to gain access and help support the channel. Enacting his plan to gain access to the Sacred Realm and the Triforce, Ganondorf speaks to the Great Deku Tree, the Gorons, and the Zoras. After he's denied the spiritual stones, Ganondorf curses each of them in retaliation. Chaotic evil. As Ganondorf lets the curse do their jobs, he goes to Hyrule Castle to pledge his allegiance. This is for show, and he can move around Hyrule easier and get what he's after. Neutral evil. When all 3 sacred jewels are gathered by Link, Ganondorf stages a coup. He attacks Hyrule Castle, killing the guards, and chases Princess Zelda and Impa to attain the legendary artifact, the Ocarina of Time. Neutral evil. Spotting Link while chasing Zelda, Ganondorf asks where the princess went. He's impressed by Link's moxie when he refuses to answer, attacking the kid but keeping a close eye on him. Chaotic evil. With his hunch paying off and Link opening the door, Ganondorf enters the Sacred Realm. He thanks Link and obtains the Triforce of Power, the other 2 pieces vanishing into worthy vessels. Neutral evil. With his Triforce in hand, Ganondorf establishes his rules, starting with his home. He brainwashes Nabooru, the sage of his homeland and main opposition, and leaves her and his teachers in charge of the Gerudos, lawful evil. With no one to stop him, Ganondorf takes over Hyrule. He pollutes the land with his dark magic, fortifies his castle, and rules with an iron fist. All the while, he searches for the missing pieces of the Triforce. However, he is also willing to give some people some benefit, such as putting Ingo in charge of the Romani Ranch. Let's go with 2 lawful evils and 2 neutral evils, since this occurs over 7 years. When one of his safeguards in the temples is defeated, Ganondorf discovers a grown-up Link. He congratulates the hero of time, banishing his phantom in between dimensions as punishment, and warns Link about their upcoming battle. Chaotic evil. With the hero of time opposing him, Ganondorf decides to let Link travel. While he will have his opposition to try to stop Link from freeing the sages, the King of Evil hopes to draw the elusive Princess Zelda out of hiding. Neutral evil. With 6 of the 7 sages saved, Zelda reveals herself to Link and that she's the final sage and the wielder of the Triforce of Wisdom. Ganondorf, who is watching this from afar, captures her and challenges Link to a final battle to bring the Triforce together. Neutral evil. Jamming out on his organ as he waits, Ganondorf welcomes Link to their final battle. He then disables Navi's targeting to gain an edge in combat before attacking Link. I forgot that was a thing. Chaotic evil. Backed into a corner, Ganondorf decides to pull a classic move by angry DMs. Rock fall, everyone dies. Ganondorf brings the castle down around him to kill his foes. Chaotic evil. Clinging on, even after the castle nearly killed him, Ganondorf decides the kid's gloves are off. Activating the full power of the Triforce of Power, Ganondorf transforms into the mighty Ganon. With his terrifying powers, Ganon is able to win. Even with the Triforce of Power, Ganon is beaten by Link and Zelda. With the sages sending him into the void, the King of Evil swears revenge on their bloodlines. Chaotic evil. Ganondorf's infamy lives on as legend in the adult timeline. Ages later, the seal is broken and Ganondorf escapes. Ganondorf's first act, now that he's free, is murdering the latest sages. Oh my god, chaotic evil. With the sages defeated and the hero of time nowhere, Ganondorf goes to claim his ultimate prize of Hyrule. Too bad the gods of Hyrule are having none of it. They flood Hyrule and trap Ganondorf again. Chaotic evil. Eventually escaping the depths of the sea, Ganondorf begins rebuilding his army in the New World. He claims the Forsaken Fortress for his own, and he sends his minions to prevent the Master Sword from returning to full power, even if this will cap his own abilities. Neutral evil. Ganondorf tasks his minion, the Halmarot King, to begin looking and capturing any girls with pointed ears. Even with the Master Sword being stalled, Ganondorf wants to prevent any remnants of the royal family or Hylians from trying to stop him. And if anyone attempts to stop him, Ganondorf orders their quick death. Neutral evil. Sensing the Master Sword undoing his seal, Ganondorf prepares for the inevitable attack on the Forsaken Fortress. He summons another Phantom and putting his minions on alert, waiting to see how the battle unfolds. Awful evil. With his defenses shattered, the King of Evil meets the latest Link. Greeting the young man, he reveals that the Master Sword held the last of his power, before smacking him with a newly arrived Tetra around. When he discovers Tetra is the princess he's looking for, he's overjoyed but set on fire by an angry dragon. Neutral evil. After surviving, being set on fire, Ganondorf breaks through the old barrier to Hyrule and captures a hidden Tetra. He then leaves a message and trap for the Hero of the Winds, Chaotic Evil. Waiting in his tower, Ganondorf observes Tetra's dreams on an endless ocean. Disgusted by the gods who betrayed Hyrule, he tests Link with a puppet to gauge his strength. When the Hero of the Wind succeeds, Ganondorf once again applauds the young man and goes to the top of the tower for his final battle. Lawful neutral, actually. That's pretty honorable. Atop his tower, Ganondorf reflects on how far he's come. It's a sad and beautiful insight into the man before he attacks Link. With all the Triforces gathered, Ganondorf spares Link and Tetra and begins to make his wish to rule Hyrule, only for it to be snubbed. Neutral evil. With his plans ruined and Hyrule sinking into the Great Sea forever, a broken Ganondorf decides to spite the gods and destroy their chosen champions. Chaotic evil, also Nat 20C. After suffering a savage Nat 20 finishing move, Ganondorf begins to be sealed once more, whispering that the winds are blowing. Ganondorf accepts his death. True neutral. So credit where it's due, I was initially wrong about Ganondorf, and again, I never am bothered when I'm actually wrong. It's just part of the process. I thought he was just an evil villain for the sake of being evil, and he's just some magical pigman that stomped the ground, laughed, and made trouble for a bunch of different Links throughout time. However, it was doing both the Hero of Time and the Tetra videos a complete disservice not to show this Ganondorf. Yeah, in Ocarina of Time, he was kind of basic. He was smug, arrogant dick who taunts you from afar, but Wind Waker is when we get to see how much Ganondorf has gone through, and it's the difference between playing the same character at two radically different ages. Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time is full of fire and energy. He's young and he's manipulating things from the shadows, making deals in the dark and getting what he needs to do and makes others suffer for it. Yet he loses again and again. It would be one thing if he could pinpoint it on one person, but Ganondorf sees that even the gods of Hyrule don't want him to rule. When Ganondorf escapes his prison for the first time, there's still that energy there, and he still kills the sages like he promised. After losing Hyrule to the Great Sea and escaping again, the man is slower and more methodical. He wants to prevent the gods' power so that he can bring back Hyrule. Yes, it's to rule and rule under his fist, but he also views the lonely islands in the Great Sea as a spit into face to both him and the Hylians, who put their faith in the gods. And when he finally has access to this power, despite insisting and showing his ability to kill those who have wronged him, Ganondorf is content with letting Tetra and Link live. These are the same people he swore to kill as he was put into the waking nightmare, and he just wants Hyrule back. And when the gods deny him that again, Ganondorf breaks. That ending in Wind Waker is just really good, and I'm actually mad at myself for not giving it credit. I know a lot of people at the time didn't like the cel-shaded chibi art style, but everyone has since agreed that the game has aged beautifully. And it does add a lot of depth to a man that at one point was just a mustache-twirling villain. And again, there's nothing wrong with mustache-twirling villains. I just didn't see a point in making a video about them until, thankfully, my co-writer Cinema Freak really encouraged me to finish Wind Waker. Maybe at some point we'll cover other iterations of Ganondorf, and again, someone please point me to a good fan dub of A Tale of Two Rulers. I will do that one for free. I love that webcomic. It's very, very good, although it's not done yet, so it's kind of hard to justify a whole video, and it's technically non-canon. I just like complicated characters, guys. Are there any other villains that you want us to cover? Thank you again. Thank you to the patrons, and I'll see you next time.